Today I'm going to show you a quick demo of using IntegratedML with DataRobot. So IntegratedML is a new feature of InterSystems Iris that allows you to build and use machine learning models using elegant SQL syntax. So let's take a look. We have here a SQL editor, dbeaver, and I'm connected to an InterSystems Iris instance. And we're looking at a particular table that we're going to build a machine learning model from this data. And it's a healthcare example. So we have a bunch of information about diabetes patients and information about their medications, information about their medical history. And we want to build a machine learning model that can predict whether or not this patient is going to be readmitted. We have some historical data, and we want to build a model that will be able to take new data and predict a probability of whether or not this certain patient will get readmitted to the hospital. Readmissions is a phenomenon where a patient gets treated but then comes back a short time later to the hospital with a preventable condition. It's a huge drag on our healthcare system, and while we're trying to do everything we can to optimize and be efficient about our healthcare resources right now, this is particularly important. Okay, so you can see I've got about 10,000 rows, exactly 10,000 rows. And the first step to using IntegratedML is to set up the provider. Okay, so a provider is a machine learning framework that's going to do the actual machine learning. And IntegratedML is essentially this interface between our SQL engine on the one side and the data platform on that side, and some machine learning frameworks that do the actual machine learning. In this case, we're going to set up our provider for DataRobot. So how do you do that? We'll switch over here to DataRobot. You go up to this upper right, and you can click Developer Tools, and there you can copy you can make and then copy API key. The next step is to take that API key and set up your DataRobot provider within InterSystems Iris. We use there's a way to do this with just SQL or just object script, but you can do it from the management portal here. So you go into System Administration, Configuration, and Machine Learning Configurations. And I'm not going to make this one here, but we can just see what's in where you would put that API key that we just copied to our clipboard. Put it right there at the bottom. And you've got some other fields that you can fill out here. Okay, so now that we've set up our machine learning configuration, we'll go back over to dbeaver, and then we can actually activate that. So you use the setML configuration syntax. Once you do that, then all of the machine learning commands that you issue through your SQL are going to use DataRobot. The first step then in actually creating a model is this create model statement, and it takes the name of the model and the column that you are predicting, and then a default table which will tell IntegratedML what are the inputs to this model. It's going to, by default, use all of the other columns other than readmitted. So we run that. It's just a simple DDL statement. Goes really quickly. And then the actual work of training the model is done with a train model statement. I'm not going to do that here because it takes about 15 minutes to run. But we can switch over and look and see what did happen on a previous run with DataRobot. So over in DataRobot, we have we can look at the projects, and we're going to actually look at a previous project that I've run before. and we can see all the models that were built with that. Okay, this is the one we'll look at. And now we can look at all the models that were developed. DataRobot has a rich user interface where you can look at all the models that were built for a particular problem. So now we know we have a model that's actually been built. Of course, several have been built and they've been deployed. It's that easy now to actually use this within your SQL. All you have to do is call predict. And here I've got a very interesting query that we're running. So here you can see a query you can use to actually use that model that was built in DataRobot. Here I'm going to call predict, which actually invokes a model, but I'm also going to call this other function probability, which not only, predict gives the Boolean, a yes or no, whether this patient is predicted to be readmitted, but probability gives you a little information about the confidence the model has. The other parts of this query that's interesting is that you can put this predict statement anywhere in your query. Right here we're going to select for all of the examples where the model did not predict the correct answer. So all I have to do is run this query, and it goes out to DataRobot, invokes that model, puts it all together, and then this is a very simple way that you could potentially use this within your own applications. Oh, it's going to go right there. Okay, so it just pulled back all that data, compare, and now you can compare the predicted to the readmitted, and see if it was high confidence, low confidence, and kind of dig in and get a feel for how your model's working.